So some of you have requested a video about how to tax your income from P2P loans, which is why today we will dive deeper into this topic and give you a good overview about how it works. Welcome back to our channel, where we cover all there is to know about making money online by investing in P2P loans. If you're interested in earning passive income with P2P lending, consider subscribing and hit the notification button to not miss out on future videos. Before we start, I have to mention that this is by no means tax advice. The taxation of the income from P2P lending is directly linked to the regulation that you have to follow in the country where you are a tax resident. In this video, we won't be covering the exact rates and procedures, how it works in every country, but I will give you a good framework that's going to make your tax declaration hassle-free. Right off the bat, there are two things that you should know about paying taxes from your P2P investments. The first is that you always pay taxes from your P2P earnings in the country where you are officially a tax resident if you invest as a private investor. There are a few exceptions that I will mention later on, but the main point to understand is that it doesn't matter where the loans are being originated. You always pay your taxes in the country where you're officially a tax resident. The second point that investors are always wondering is whether you have to pay taxes only when you withdraw your investments from the platform. The answer is no. In the vast majority of cases, you have to pay tax regardless if you have withdrawn your profits from the platform or not, unless your country's legislation says otherwise. What you should be aware of is that every country has its own tax declaration form, their own labels for income generated from P2P lending, as well as their own rates based on whether the earnings are classified as personal income or capital gains. Some countries also offer tax allowances and tax breaks, and it is your responsibility to inform yourself about the specifics that apply to you personally. Now, when it comes to earning from P2P loans, many new investors are sometimes confused and don't know what to declare and what not. Whereas loan repayments are not taxable, the interest, late payment fees, secondary market premiums, and cashback bonuses have to be declared as earnings. Alright, so how does it work in real life? Well, first of all, you will need a tax statement or at least an account statement, which you can download from the platforms. The process is pretty simple. You just log into your platform where you invest, you navigate to the statements, choose the dates for the period for which you need to declare your earnings, and generate the tax statement. You can download the file and review how much you have earned in income, which you have to declare to your tax authorities. So for instance, here you can see the last year I earned €2,059 of income on Peerberry. So this is the amount that I have to declare in my tax declaration. Depending on the tax form that you use in your country, you will need to put it in a field that is labeled as foreign capital income or income from other sources and attach the tax statement from Peerberry to your tax declaration. If you're investing on more platforms, you simply repeat the same process and add the sum of your income from all platforms into the form. This is something you have to do by yourself. When it comes to the submission of your tax declaration to your tax authorities, you can either file it yourself as well or use an accountant, which makes sure that you didn't miss anything. Based on the tax rates in your country, you will pay the tax from your earnings, and that's basically it. In the case where a platform doesn't provide a tax statement, you simply download an account statement and sum up all the earnings yourself. When you do this, you might ask yourself whether you can deduct losses such as defaulted loans from your income. This depends on your tax laws in the country where you are a tax resident. In some countries, you cannot do it. In others, you can try and see what the tax office will tell you. Generally speaking, you could deduct losses in certain countries if you have a document that proves that the loan cannot be recovered or that the platform is defaulted and that there won't be any future recoveries. This is obviously something that you can get either from the platform or from the court that declares that a platform is officially bankrupt. To be absolutely certain about this, you have to talk to your accountant or tax consultant, as it varies depending on the country. Another question that investors might ask is whether a platform is withholding taxes. In most cases, it's not. There are, however, a few platforms that deduct taxes for investors under certain circumstances. Some of them are Lithuanian-based regulated platforms like Heavy Finance or Neo Finance, where they deduct 15% from your earnings. Via Invest is also withholding taxes for investments in loans in Czech Republic and Spain. In order to avoid paying tax twice, you have to submit a special form called DAS 1 or DAS 2 to either the platform or to the foreign tax authority and claim your tax back, or pay a lower tax in your country where you are considered a tax resident. This is usually an option if there is a double taxation treaty between your country and the country where the tax has been paid. For more details, I suggest you consult a tax expert or get in touch with the platform directly. When it comes to the tax rates itself, it is again country specific. In some countries, income from P2P loans is considered to be taxed as capital gains. In other countries, it's considered as personal income. As you can see on these charts, the tax rates can vary depending on the category in which the income falls under. Also, some countries offer tax reliefs and tax allowances, so I highly recommend educating yourself about all the options that apply to you before even starting investing in P2P loans. So I hope that this video gives you a better understanding of how taxation works when it comes to P2P lending. If you found this information helpful, hit the like button. If you want to learn more about this topic, click on the link in the description below or head over to our P2P Lending Academy, where you can find more information about how to tax your P2P income. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.